don't do it. Don't. No, I don't want to do it.
We are the Level Up Show. Level up.
Yeah, no, we're not doing it. Not today.
There's not enough people.
It's an empty room. It's just two guys yelling for no reason.
Yeah, well, we are the Level Up Show. 7 people in here right now. We are on Saturdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we wanted to do an impromptu episode for you guys. It's not even an episode. It's just us talking about CES.
It's coverage. We want to hear feedback. We didn't get to talk to you guys much last week.
No, we didn't. We didn't have a lot of people last week, so we decided maybe we'll do a few more of these mini episodes in between. Yeah. Kristen and I were on Sunday. She's not here tonight. She's working, but sorry about that. I know some people are probably disappointed.
That's the only reason why people come in here anymore.
Yeah, obviously. We only have such
chat room is going to be dead tonight.
But who's in the chat room with us? No. Anyone want it? Besides Ghost?
Ghost is
welcome, Daryl. Our good friend Daryl.
We're using names now?
Oh, yeah. For him, sure. It's our good friend Daryl. He's an official editor of the Level Up Show blogspot.
He is.
He is? You haven't even become an official editor yet.
I have not.
You haven't accepted my invitation. Daryl is an official editor, and you're not.
Here's my editing tool, alright? Let's think about this realistically.
That's sad.
Trust me, I know. So.
Okay, since I guess this is going to be a standard thing now, you wearing a t-shirt and me wearing a t-shirt, so let's want to show them off. What's going on?
Are we stripping?
No, just showing off the t-shirt. Oh, what do you got on this week?
You called me last minute. I kind of had to wing it, so I only found my Captain America t-shirt.
Okay,
it's all right. I mean, it's something
with the blue, with the flag.
It kind of goes with the blue. I had another shirt that I was like, it's not whatever.
This is actually one that I can show in reverse, and it might still be something that people would get. I'll just back up a little bit. You can't tell what that is?
No, I can't really see it very well. Oh, I see it. I got it.
Anybody know what that is? I'm sure somebody in here, of the 5 of you, could name that. It's a pretty big game.
Oh, we dropped one.
Oh no.
They're falling like fruit from a tree.
All right, do you want to just go into it?
Just start going into it. We can start talking about
some lesser news first before we get to the big PlayStation announcement.
Yeah, we can go into a couple of tiny things.
Well, let's talk first about what Sony was doing the day before. Yesterday, I know a lot of people were like scared because there was no. But this is par for the course with CES. This was a CES press conference full all the way through.
Yeah.
Yes, Ghost. That is Final Fantasy. It's Final Fantasy VII. It was a CES conference. They were showing off televisions.
Right.
They were showing off phones.
Right.
They were showing off
CES for those of you who don't know, who are only in here just on a whim because you're bored as hell or you don't even know what tech really is besides gaming. CES is a Consumer Electronics Show. It's every year, the beginning of the year, first week in January usually, concurrently with the Adult Film Expo. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. It's usually the same time as the Adult Film Expo. So I say we go next time. Yeah. But that being said, it's where all the big companies. It's basically like E3 for all the tech giants. It shows computers, cameras, TVs, like you said, audio systems, everything tech-wise. Cars and car electronic systems are shown off here.
Yeah.
So everything cool, is really
a lot of quirky stuff.
A lot of really quirky stuff. A lot of stuff that's shown here doesn't actually ever come to market. So I'm not. What the hell is
Final Fantasy themed? I'm gonna turn it down, but
why is it?
Background music going.
Yeah, but this is really intense. All we're doing is talking about CES. Yeah, they do it every year. It's in Vegas like I said, they do it every January. So every year they do it, and it's very, very seldom that you actually get good gaming news out of this.
No.
It's usually, and once in a while you might get a cool little, insight on a new tech piece for a gaming system, but that's it. So this reveal at CES really shows Sony's Sony's.
We will do, Ghost.
Okay, yeah, I will. But it really shows Sony's dedication to, making them. Oh my God, this is really metal to talking about Sony and PlayStation. It really shows off their dedication towards combining the unified company, a unified PlayStation life cycle.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that I'm really behind this. I'm really excited for it.
So first day, Sony announced stuff like a camera that rides on top of a dog.
Woo!
See that?
No, yeah, I know. Are you getting it for Boogie?
Sure. It looked.
Let's do it.
It really looked like the dog from Call of Duty, whatever.
It
Riley,
did, right?
With the camera on it.
I think that's what it got from. Like, oh, we need to have something cool. Well, Call of Duty Ghosts is coming out. They have dogs and cameras. Let's do it.
Sony always does stuff like this, though. It's just like
weird.
they go so wide. They do just the most ridiculous things sometimes.
Well, I think if I remember right, there was actually like an infographic showing the amount of things revealed at CES from Sony and the amount of things that actually came to market, and it's like 1%.
Yeah.
It's like, you know.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff is almost like Sky Mall type stuff.
Yeah, it's like, not even that, because Sky Mall probably sells more than what they would.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff is really just showing off. It's kind of like a tech demo of a game engine. You know, it's not that the game you see in the tech demo is going to be made, but it's just showing the potential of what could be done with the technology out there.
Sure, yeah.
And that's what CES is for any kind of tech.
What else did they show off? They showed off a lot of underwater camera, I think.
Dude,
right?
I'll tell you right now that, you know, there's some really, you know, Sony themselves and, you know, their TVs, their 4K, they're focused on 4K. I'm sure you can make it work on a human. I'm pretty sure you can shoulder mount it like a parrot or something. So
yeah, I don't think it's just for pets, but that's the image they showed, which everyone just went nuts over, because dogs have been big this year for some reason. If you haven't noticed that, with like
there's a big surge in making everything with a, you know, having a dog by your side.
Yeah, I mean I get it.
Like Grand Theft Auto even had a dog feature, which I never used.
The big one was Call of Duty, though.
The big one was Call of Duty.
Because they just made such a big deal out of it. Yeah. Which was funny. So. It really was. Sorry. I'm a little parched. We lost people! Oh no! What was I going to say?
That happened.
God, they didn't announce numbers.
No, which was surprising. Oh,
yeah, a little bit, because Microsoft announced
it was announced. You didn't see the numbers?
I didn't.
Over 4 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear this.
Okay, so apparently I know something that Drew doesn't.
No, I didn't see that. Well, this is a big deal. We'll talk about it. We'll talk everything CES, even though this will take away from our weekend show.
It won't, because there's no one in here.
Yeah,
so we're going to go over it again this week.
That's true.
We wanted to talk about it a little bit now. We just got bored.
But Microsoft, the day before, announced that they had shipped 3 million to consumers, which is a big number. That is impressive. So impressive, actually, that I was like, I don't know if Sony's going to match this, actually.
Right, and give me a second. You can go on for a second. I'm going to try to find this.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was like, whoa, like, I didn't expect that. I said COD, so some left, is what Ghost said. It's probably true. Right. COD is very hated right now. But so is Battlefield.
Everything's hated. Everybody hates everything.
Haters gonna hate.
Gamers are a fickle beast, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find this thing where it showed. It was like, I think it was 4 million, like 4.2 or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was over 4 million units.
This year.
This year alone.
Holy crap.
Right. That's huge. That's great. And like last time we talked about it, it was 2 million and 2.1 as far as we knew.
Yeah.
You know, neck and neck. So it was really close. But this just really goes. Oh, great. One of our viewers is Dan Clickman. Out of all people, available now.
Hey Dan, how you doing? Are you at PJ's? He's at PJ's, isn't he?
Woo! Woo! Awesome.
Eating some wings?
But yeah, so you know, it's one of those things where now we're seeing that it's really spreading really thin, and there's a lot of shortages everywhere, and everybody's not understanding how this is happening. 4 million is a lot of units.
You got on to it, but now it makes sense, man.
Now it makes a lot more sense. It makes a lot more sense.
Even like 3 million alone, if one of the two only sold 3 million, that would have been huge.
Right.
What this shows is that people were desperate for
and it was. He's at PJ's. Yeah, they've been. I mean, everybody's been wanting one. We've both been talking about one. It needed to come. We were hitting. You could tell graphically, even though we were pushing it, we were pushing it.
Yeah.
You know, like showing how Grand Theft Auto 5 really showed how much they were pushing it on the Xbox 360.
Last of Us too.
Last of Us.
Beautiful game. That was the first of the Naughty Dog games that started to drop a little below 30 frames per second here and there.
Right. Well, not even that. I'm talking about like the disc size. Like Grand Theft Auto had to have the 8 gig install in both systems. Yeah. But on the Xbox, it had to have its own disc for the install.
Was it 2 or 3 discs on? 2. It was 2. But you installed it, and then you could
installed it. And then that disc was worthless, and then so. Whatever.
Always had Xbox Ones and PS4s in stock.
Where do you live that you have, like, there's someone else that said that the other day.
That's pretty cool.
I don't understand that.
Not around here.
We live we're in the Northeast, we're in Jersey, so we're in a very heavy metropolitan area, and they're out of stock everywhere. You call into a store and they do that thing where they laugh at you on the phone. You call and you ask.
Jingle All the Way style?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you have, listen to this. So, it's very entertaining to do that, so.
That's surprising though. I know Xbox Ones have been seen here.
Xbox Ones though, I do see them a lot.
I think they're really they're shipping the hardcore.
You gotta remember too. Yeah, see, he's in Iowa, so that's where it's coming from.
Sure.
Over in Jersey here, we're at the kind of the heartbeat for a lot of tech.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think that's the case. But kudos to Microsoft. That's great news.
Right. The fact that they have leftover units in a lot of stores and are still at 3 million shows that they were ready to tackle this, and once they expand their markets, they're gonna.
You have to wonder if PlayStation being sold out has helped Microsoft at all. Do Do you think that there's some people going
yes,
into stores?
100%.
Yeah.
I would say, and you know what? And I don't want to say it's a lot. You know, I want to say it's a small percentage, but it's a set percentage enough that makes it. You know, if they're at 3 million, I want to say honestly, very easily that 0.2%. Or that 2% of those, 2 to 5% of those are because Sony's out.
It's a good guess.
You know, I've heard people talk about it, so
I believe it.
But you know,
they announced they had plenty here on the intercom. No one wanted them.
huh?
I find that hard to believe a little bit.
No, I believe that actually, because it's one of those things where people are seeing them now so much. It's kind of like, you know, seeing an older people that wanted them, and they came out for it. You know, people I think at first for the last couple of weeks were like, oh, they still have them, I'll grab them.
Yeah.
And now, right now, you know, within the last week or two, it's kind of like Christmas is over. You know, everybody has them, or everybody that wants them got it already. I think a lot of people are either waiting for more games or waiting for the bugs to work out. So,
Hey, Dan Goldberg.
yeah.
I don't think that's a Dan that we know. We know a lot of Dans,
yes,
but I
I
don't.
do. Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's a game. Okay, never mind. That's another Dan that we know. And Stacy, welcome. I don't think I've seen you on here before. We're the Level Up Show, and we're a dedicated gaming broadcast. But you know, we're just doing like an impromptu episode tonight to discuss CES. Normally, we're on Saturdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can watch us this weekend.
Right. This weekend alone too, we are going to be having 2 giveaways.
Yeah.
Big giveaways actually.
Yep.
We're going to do both at the same time, you think?
I think we'll spread them throughout the episode, but we might do both this weekend. We'll see.
So,
but going off of what Stacey said, like that's almost the exact opposite of a lot of stories I've been reading on NeoGAF, where people are like, I was in Best Buy today, and they went over the intercom and said PS4's in stock, and everyone just rushed.
Right.
Then they were gone in minutes.
Right.
Like,
and that's exactly what's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a Midwest thing. No one in Midwest knows
Yeah.
technology if it bites them on the ass.
yeah, maybe that's a lot of Midwest people. Maybe that's what
You gotta
people
remember, it's
are doing right now in the Midwest.
As far as bought consumer electronics,
Yeah.
the East Coast and mainly the Northeast and like Florida a little bit, you know, as well as parts of like Texas, Arizona, and California, and Washington, are really where tech sells, or anything sells when it's right tech-wise. You know, games, technology, TVs, cameras, anything like that.
Yeah.
That's where it really goes.
I think if PS4 did 4.2 this year, I think that when they start having them in stock, it might really start to divide a little bit here.
Yes, I think if they were able to increase the production, I think that that number gap would actually increase dramatically.
Especially with the announcement today. I think that's eventually
Which
that's going to
is-
appeal to a lot of people.
Which is why we're here.
Yeah. You want to just go into it?
Let's go into it.
All right. So the big announcement today, Kazrai announced it at the CES conference, is called PlayStation Now. Now, this is something that we knew was coming in a sense, because in the February announcement, the very first reveal of PlayStation, they also brought the guy out, the creator of Gaikai, which is a streaming service.
Get it, Gaikai?
Gaikai, yeah. A service similar to OnLive, which I think actually more people had heard of at the time than Gaikai.
Yes.
OnLive has since gone bankrupt, I think.
They did. I don't. Did they actually go bankrupt, or were they just?
I think so.
I didn't hear bankrupt, but I know that they stopped.
Maybe Microsoft secretly bought them out and no one knows it.
That would be absolutely amazing.
It's gonna be just
best
a war.
And it's just like a clash at the head.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, so PlayStation Now is the culmination of that. It's Gaikai, but across more devices than I think people were expecting.
Right.
It is now that you have access to your entire PlayStation library across 1, 2, and 3. Maybe. We'll see how many games they offer. But a lot of the games across PlayStation 1, 2, 3, maybe PSP. I don't think they said that, right?
They didn't say they were PSP. They just, they
we'll see. But you can play them on your TV, on your tablet, on your phone, on your PS3, on your PS4. Vita, which you can bring anywhere. Vita TV, which hopefully comes eventually to America. So
I'm praying, man. I'm crossing my fingers.
Yeah.
I want it. I get it.
Yeah, I would
get it. Comes out, bam.
If it's $100, especially.
Oh my God, hell yeah.
And we already got the controller, so we
I don't need anything else.
Yeah. $100 to pretty much put it in another room and have another
right in line with Apple TV. It's actually it's a little more expensive than the Roku box, but I mean the features that gives you are amazing for it.
No,
so.
PS3 and 360 are not dead by any means.
No.
I think a really good example of that, again, we don't have a lot of people in here, so I don't mind saying it, Aliens Isolation that was just announced. Actually, it might be Alien Isolation, because it very much takes away from the first Ridley Scott film.
Yes.
But that is end of next year, and it's coming out on PS3, 360, Wii U, Xbox One, and PS4. So we're going to be seeing that next year, too, at the end of the year.
I'm surprised that they're actually going for the Wii U on that game.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, I don't mind it, but I mean...
Someone's got to throw them a bone.
Right.
You know. Otherwise, really,
one third-party developer at a time. You know.
What are the names of that group of people? I know they've worked. The guys that are working on Alien Isolation.
You know, I read it earlier. I can't remember who it is.
CE. I keep saying CE.
Yes.
But anyway, it looks very similar to like Amnesia. It looks like straight horror. Like slow walking, first person, really ambient, and like with the sounds and the atmosphere with the lighting is very impressive. The video that was shown off, I really liked the way it looked, especially coming off of a Colonial Marines.
I actually never got around to watching it. I was actually getting my stuff together to come over here when I read about it. So.
Definitely watch it. And another game announcement was Evolve, which is from the Left 4 Dead people, and it pretty much is Left 4 Dead, but now with dinosaurs / aliens or something. But enough of that. Let's dial on the PlayStation conference. So PlayStation Now, you might have backwards compatibility in a sense now, which people have been waiting for. It doesn't mean that it's going to be we don't know yet if it means that you have your games that you already have playable.
No, that's what we were talking about.
But that's the hope.
I'm hoping that they actually, they actually allow for that. Basically, what he's talking about is if you own the game, being able to insert the disc into the PS4, even though it doesn't read, previous generation discs. There's coding on the disc that it can read that allows it to be played in the unit. The technology is being used right now with the upgrade offer, so anybody that has a PS4, if they got select PS3 games, FIFA, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, they're able to then go onto the store. There's a code that you use. You go onto the store, put it into the store, and it allows you to download the PS4 patch for the game. And then anytime you want to use it, you just put the disc in and bin. You're done.
So off of that, I would say it's certainly possible for that to happen.
It's just depends on
what they want to do.
Exactly. It's never the fact of what's possible.
Yeah.
Everything is possible. The limitations that you have in these game systems is all at the hands of what they want to make money on.
So in my opinion, I think this would be a really smart move by Sony to allow people to, if they have the disc in, only if they have the disc in, be able to stream that game while the disc is in. Right. Because if that's the case, I really can't see them having any issues with people trying to take advantage of it. That means you can borrow a game from a friend,
try it out,
and stream it while you have the game.
The other friend can't play it while you have it, so it's not like you're
the same as if you would borrow it normally.
Right. So that there's no difference.
Piracy or used games like just exploding off the charts. There's not going to be anything like that. It's just that they're not going to profit off of people having to buy a new version of that game.
No. Now here is the benefit that they could have is they could have So what they announced too was rental offers as well as subscription offers. You're going to be able to either rent the games individually. So let's say you never got to play The Last of Us, but you want to play it on the PS, and all you have is a PS4.
Which is a game they did show off on the show floor.
Right. Which is what's been used so far. And apparently, it's actually flawless as far as connectivity.
That's what I'm reading.
So it's one of those things where you'll be able to rent that game for an undisclosed price. Or if you want, you can actually get a subscription, to the PlayStation Now service, get it across all your devices, and then use any of the games. I'm assuming.
Now they haven't gone into detail on what the subscription service means. The wording was something along the lines of having an opportunity to experience more games than you normally would. That's very vague. But does that mean unlimited? I doubt it.
No, it's probably not going to be unlimited. It's probably going to be like
a certain number of games a month.
You can have access to the you pick your games, and once you get to a certain amount, you have to pay more for.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. If the subscription was 5 games a month, any 5 games a month, play them as much as you want, what do you think the monthly fee would be?
Oh, dude, you're going more than me. I was actually thinking it was going to be 3 or 4.
Okay.
I was going to say about $15-20.
Exactly. I would have guessed $20. Yeah, because and that might seem high to a lot of people right now. But let's say they do $20 a month and $200 a year. So they want to try and push people for the full year. That's a little more than 3 full-priced retail games. If you get 3, 4, 5 games a month, that means you're getting 36 or even 60 games throughout the year for $200. So depending on how the service works, the streaming quality, the lag and whatnot, $200 for the full year might seem like a lot, but it might be definitely worth it. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's even higher than that.
No, we also have to bring up, and this will kind of segue a little bit into it while we're talking about the subscription service. Sony Online Entertainment actually announced the subscription service now, where it's changing. So anybody that plays any of Sony's games, DC Universe Online, any of those type of games, where it's free to play now, and nobody really is not a lot of people are actually buying into the subscription service.
Yeah.
It's really mainly focusing on free to play and a couple microtransactions here and there.
Yeah.
So what they're trying to do is they've actually allowed you to now you subscribe for all of Sony Online Entertainment's games.
Yeah.
Every single one. You
Yeah.
pay one subscription fee a month and you get access to all of them. So
that might include EverQuest Next. It might include.
They actually mentioned that as well.
DC Universe Online.
Yes.
PlanetSide 2.
PlanetSide 2 is the other one.
Which are 3 big games. DC Universe Online is already out, and I think EverQuest Next is still coming, and so is PlanetSide. Am I right? So all 3 of those games, and I think whatever else is in their library of games for $15 a month. I don't think that's bad.
No, it's not a bad deal at all. And I'm wondering if they did that in anticipation of the PlayStation Now service.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that's a lot. I think you're going to see the same subscription is going to give you the access to this.
Yeah,
as well. I think it's going to be a combination effort. Like I said, it seems like they're going towards a unified effort altogether. PS Plus. Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
It's $50 a year for PlayStation Plus. This service that they're talking about, PlayStation Now, it might be completely separate. It probably will be completely separate. There might be a deal of some kind, a combo offer.
So, maybe instead of $50 a year, pay $100 a year
and get so many games a month.
So many games a month for a limited subscription.
I think they'll have tiers. I think they'll probably be pretty smart of them to do at least a few tiers. Right. I know everyone's a little different when it comes to how many games they play. What do you think you're going to do? You think you're just going to stick to just renting a game when you want to, or are you going to subscribe?
I have it a little bit differently than most people do, so I don't think I'm personally not going to go for this just because I don't have the need to right now. Yeah. But I know for you it's definitely going to be worth it.
I think it's going to be something I gauge over time. Like, how many games am I playing?
But there's a lot of people out there that are ditching their... I actually had a conversation with a guy the other day where he was saying about how he sold everything, his PS3, all of his games, everything like that. He got his PlayStation 4. Mm-hmm. He got, I think, like 4 of the games when they came out, and then he didn't have anything to play, so he actually went back, found a guy that wanted to sell his PS3 back to him. Okay. Bought a PS3 again and a bunch of other games that he didn't get to play. So,
yeah, something that I don't think we're putting enough focus on, actually. Let me take that from him real quick. I don't want him to... something I don't think we're putting enough focus on is the idea of being able to use this across any device.
Right, and that's the thing we didn't touch on yet. So this is not a PS4 exclusive thing.
No.
So for those of you that don't know, this PlayStation Now service has actually been announced for not only your PS4, but your... I think they actually announced it for tablets, phones, and televisions.
And televisions, yeah.
So
no computers. They didn't say
nothing about computers yet. Nothing about the Vita either.
No, they said Vita.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm 100% sure.
You are?
Yeah, 100% sure it's Vita as well.
Okay.
The one thing that, poor pillow. Yes, Stacy, poor pillow. For some reason, Bogey's like coughing up now from eating that pillow. You alright, man? But anyway, yeah, I know Vita is 100% in there. The thing is, damn, I lost my train of thought. With TVs, it's going to be only Sony, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's Sony devices only.
Yes, it's only going to be...
Which makes sense. I know a lot of people are saying, like, hey, Bo, be good. A lot of people are saying that they think they're missing out on a huge market, but I think they have to start this one.
No, they have to start this one in a small area to test it out to see if it's actually worth it the way they want to. This is actually, in my opinion, this is actually completely unexpected, the way that they're taking it. Yeah. I knew something like this was coming, but not in this form. Not where they were going to do a subscription service, not where they were going to do, across all those devices. I thought it was going to be a PS4 thing, only maybe the Vita thing, but adding the TVs in there, adding your phones and tablets, that's a pretty big undertaking.
Yeah, I think it's very big. How it's going to work, we don't know. How do your controllers hook up? Are you using touch on your tablet, or are you able to use the Bluetooth to use your PS4 controller?
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't know if I would really be all that keen on.
Even on Vita, I mean, it's something that they're already kind of having to work around with the PS4 remote play, but you have to use the back touch for R2 and L2, and even R3 and L3, you have to use the touch, either front touch or back touch. So they're going to have to work around that. I would hope that they have support for Bluetooth. I think with Sony Bravia TVs, which they announced 9 new TVs across 3 different series, which have like a wedge shape to them now, which they look really nice. They're 4K, obviously, a lot of them. I hope that they have a lot of things planned in place, such as Bluetooth support for controllers. If that way, you can literally just go over someone's house, bring your controller, and that's it.
And that's it. That's all you need to do. And so here's the cool thing I'm thinking about is, with the TVs, I'll tell you right now, it's not going to be all of them. No. It's only going to be their higher end units. which they're premier TVs and everything like that.
Which might even have software in place.
Right, and the one thing I'm excited about is, imagine if they allowed this. They didn't say anything about PS4 games. They did say PS3 games, and you already have the cloud saves on there. So you'll basically I'll be able to play my game on my TV at home with my controller. Come over here, load up my account on your TV, and just pick up where I left off. And you can already do this with PS Plus.
And best of all, earn trophies.
Right.
On TV, on tablet, on phone, it doesn't matter. You can still own trophies.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all one collaborative.
You can still message. You can still access your friends list. Stuff such as that.
Oh, Steam brought out the family share thing.
I thought it said bought out too.
Yeah, I thought it said bought out. I was like, what? Did they actually bring it out original? I don't think they were the original ones. They actually were late to the game as far as a family share thing.
Yeah, a lot of people have actually gotten on Steam for that. That's their one kind of a little bit of downfall is being able to use your content across multiple computers and stuff like that. It's kind of a little rigid and strict in that sense.
Right, it's not in the same sense. It's the same idea that a lot of companies have had.
Yeah.
Actually, Xbox has been doing this for a while. The Xbox 360, I'm actually able to. It's a little bit harder to do it on the 360, and it's not as full featured as maybe the Steam one is, or even the PS Now service will be.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of companies that have been doing something like this for a long time. Actually, OnLive started doing something like this a while ago.
Yep.
So it's not a unique feature, but it's just everybody keeps implementing new ways around it, new ways to change and improve and make it better for us as consumers.
Yeah, this is going to spread their market so wide that it almost makes you wonder if it could affect PS4 sales in the negative.
No, I'm going to say no, not at all. Actually, I think it's going to increase it dramatically.
I have a feeling PS4 games aren't going to be a part of this streaming service because they're going to want people to buy PS4.
Plus, they're so big.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much data you would need to run over the bandwidth?
That's another good thing to discuss is, do we think this is going to be the same as Netflix as far as data, if 720p, 1080p? Because it's just video streaming to your TV, right?
Did you know that Amazon actually announced here that they will be supporting 4K resolution for their...
I think Netflix announced it too.
Did they?
Yeah, both of them.
Actually? So I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue.
No.
I don't think the graphics-wise. I'm just talking about the amount of data that has to go through your internet connection. Yeah. You have to have at least 6 megabit per second connection speed available at all times.
Even that would probably be a little low.
That means that anybody that has that basic tier service that says up to 10 megabits per second, you're not going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
It's not going to be for you. It's going to be for the people that have the higher tiers.
Yeah.
So.
Like, I'm on Blast with Comcast. I have, I think it's 5010. Right. That's something I've been looking into because people have been saying that we have lag issues. So I've been looking up recently what should you have if you want to have a decent upload and whatnot. A lot of people are saying like 2 should be fine. We're getting about 3.5. Okay. So we really shouldn't be having issues.
Right.
I have a feeling it's just things are being ironed out still. I have a feeling our quality will get better over time as the network improves.
Yeah, the features of Twitch on the PS4 are really limited.
Yeah,
it doesn't even record our sessions.
Yeah,
for us to even do that.
I think that was a Sony choice, maybe, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't just archive for you by default. I don't know. Maybe they didn't want games being archived for people to
exploit.
Maybe just put them on YouTube and stuff. I don't know. Maybe they drew the line somewhere. Mine is 6-1. Wow, you really are in Iowa.
That sucks. I thought I was bad. I had like 15 at one point. I was like, oh my god, this is so terrible.
I'm surprised you have decent picture right now with us.
Right? How are you guys watching us?
Our biggest fan probably has like 480p with us right now.
Right.
And Stacy has max CenturyLink is 5.
They can't say how damn ugly I am, but I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
It's harder for them to notice.
Or tell Kristen to show her boobs.
Yes. No more.
Because she's not here tonight.
Hey.
Wow. I'm going to pick him up again.
No, don't worry about it.
I can hold him for a little bit. But what else is going on?
But on top of that, let's go into Steam a little bit.
Yeah, the Steam boxes. There's a lot of new Steam boxes shown off.
There is, I think, total of 13, with the biggest party pooper being Alienware. Because they
Why do you say that?
Because every other company at least announced what kind. Like some companies announced full specs.
Yeah.
Everything that was going to be in the end price. Other companies just announced. Certain things like what kind of processor will be in this system, what kind of about how much RAM, what brand of graphics card and everything like that. But Alienware for some reason didn't announce the damn thing.
Huh.
They just said, this is our box.
I will say one thing. They actually have a less gaudy looking machine than a lot of them, which is surprising.
Who? Alienware?
Yeah, because Alienware usually is really gaudy.
Some of them are really cool. And so, so basically, if anybody doesn't know what Steambox is, it's basically a $500 or more,
depends.
Computer box basically made just for Steam. Yeah. So it's actually going to operate similar to a Chromebook.
It has Steam OS on it.
Right. Steam has made their own operating system. So Steam OS is going to be the only thing that runs on this unit. Now some of them, and this is where it's going to benefit Microsoft a little bit, some of them will actually run hybrid with 8.1, Windows 8.1. So you'll actually be able to dual boot in either operating system.
Since we have so little people and the people in here are probably pretty cool, I'm just going to keep the line open the entire time. If anyone wants to call at any time, it's 856-244-1656. Just call in and we can chat.
Yeah, so the Steam OS is actually takes me 2 to 3 hours to upload a 15-minute YouTube video. Did you see that? It takes him about 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, he told me that before.
That's
actually on Facebook message.
Absolutely ridiculous. I would never be able to fathom how frustratingly slow.
With the 2-hour video that we recently uploaded, I think that took me about 2 hours.
Right.
Yeah, but one of the reasons it took so long actually is because I edited it together on YouTube. Because for some reason your video camera actually split the video into 2 segments, really? So I had to connect the 2, and then I took that little logo thing and I threw it at the beginning. Right. So I actually edited that just on YouTube. They have a little thing that allows you to throw together clips that you've uploaded. So I got it up in like an hour, and then I edited it, and that took like 2 hours to edit it and put that up. So same with downloading music.
And they pay $50 a month for that. You guys are getting swindled.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I pay, or I should say, actually my parents are the ones with the cable here. They pay a lot more than that for their full package, but we get a whole bunch of stations, and we have Blast on Comcast and whatnot, which allows us to stream to you guys. So.
Right. But anyway, Steam boxes, the actual units themselves are actually looking pretty sweet. The limitations I have would be that you can't run anything except for Steam game, which is great.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about this is that it's the same price. Some of them are the same prices as an Xbox One console, or just a little bit more expensive than a PS4. But you have access to Steam's entire catalog. Some of those games, look at the Humble Bundles and the Steam sales.
Yeah.
These things are becoming famous, for being phenomenal deals.
To be honest, I still kind of don't understand the point of it.
What was that?
Of Steam Box.
Why?
Just because you can get a decent laptop for $500 now, and you can do a whole other bunch of stuff on it besides Steam, and you have Steam.
The problem with getting a laptop for $500 is very, very often you're not getting one that can handle a lot of the games of the same quality that this can.
Yeah.
So it's actually a little bit different. You can build a computer probably for about $100 more than the base level of some of these machines, and get better specs that you can run everything on it.
Yeah,
right. So it's going to be kind of more so for the people that want it in their living room, that want a consoling experience.
But think of the people that are like die-hard Steam guys. Those are the guys that build their own computers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, you're 100% correct.
I don't see this doing that well, to be honest. Do you?
I see it doing better than you expect,
okay.
But I don't see it doing as well as I think they're.
I don't think it's going to change the industry or anything like that.
Do I remember right? They sold. I can't remember. They already oversold. I think one of the game systems. I think if I remember right, they oversold the Wii U.
Okay.
For how many pre-orders they have already.
Okay.
And paid in full pre-orders. Okay. They've already outsold the Wii U.
That's not surprising.
No, but it's,
Yeah, I know. I'm just joking. I'm just messing. Just busting Nintendo's balls. But Machiavelli. We're actually not on fiber optic. We're on, I guess it's just traditional cable, right?
Comcast is cable, Verizon is
digital. It's just digital cable. Fiber optic is Fios, and I'm just not on Fios. But I know that Google Fiber eventually will start coming other places. I heard that's amazing.
Supposedly it's phenomenal.
I can't wait for that.
I joked around actually, and this is back when I was still living with Katie, and I joked around and I was like, we're gonna move to
Texas,
to Kansas,
or whatever. Yeah, wherever it was at the time.
Well, it was Kansas City. It was both. It was 2 Kansas cities, wherever the 2 Kansas cities are. Obviously, Kansas, but
what are the download speeds on that thing? It's like ridiculous.
Oh my god, I think it starts at 100.
Yeah, it's really high.
No. One terabit.
Yeah, I thought it got that high.
It's like
a terabit, right?
It was a terabit per second.
Thing is, I think like Europe and stuff and Asia, they have stuff like that over there. They have higher speeds than we do.
They have much higher, much quicker speeds.
Yeah.
So I was actually bringing that up.
I think you did. Yeah.
Yeah, how the guy was actually mocking the U.S. for not having quick enough speeds to handle this.
It's unfortunate.
There's actually one. I was trying to find it, but I couldn't. It was actually an unknown Steam box. It came out of nowhere. I think it was by Main Gear, and it's actually basically like make yourself a sandwich on white bread and then stack another one on top of it. Okay. And that's basically the size of this unit.
Okay.
It's small as anything. You could stick it in your pack or anything like that and take it with them. Well, why the hell are you where you are? Go move there or
move
come
2 hours away
to Jersey or either one. It doesn't really matter. Get away from where you are.
16 megabit isn't terrible.
No, 16 megabit is fine.
It's fine.
But oh my god, dude, Google Fiber. I would personally, if I was that close, I would just literally be like, all right, I'm move. I would move for it.
Yeah, they would bring it to you eventually. I kind of imagine that they're getting ready to start spreading that a little bit.
From what I understand, originally it actually just started as an example to show it could be done.
Yeah.
From what I understand, they actually weren't doing it to get into the business. They didn't want anything to do with the business. But then when they found out how eager people were for it,
they're Google. They just like to show off. Did you ever see that? I don't think it ever aired on TV, but it's a really cool commercial showing off the speeds of Google Fiber. But it uses like all handmade like paper creations, like a highway that they're driving on, and it shows like Google Fiber like just like on like a speedway, like blowing past them like Hot Wheel style, all the other cars. But it's all like handmade stuff.
Yeah.
It's really neat.
Yeah, I did see that.
They do some really cool commercials, Google. There was a especially good commercial during the New Year. We're going off subject, I know, but we're just...
I'm actually sitting here actually thinking, how have we not gotten banned yet?
Yeah.
How have we not gotten kicked?
Maybe they know us by now, and they're just like, it's level up shot.
It's just them, just leave them alone.
Yeah, they don't do anything bad.
They'll die eventually.
Yeah. But there was a especially good Google commercial on New Year's Eve night, on right before like the New Year's Rockin' Eve, like before the ball dropped, and it was just all about just the search engine, right? But the stuff that they searched throughout 2013, the big things. Yeah. They also did like little tributes to Paul Walker and oh god, I can't think of his name. Morgan Freeman played him.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Why can't I think of his name?
I'm not even giving you help. I'm just letting you sit.
I'm not going to think of it now because I can't think. But they did like little tributes to people that had died throughout the year, and it was a really well made commercial. The music and whatnot. It's such good brand recognition for them, because that's kind of similar to what Super Bowl is all about, right? When you have a Super Bowl commercial, you don't advertise a product, you advertise a brand.
Right.
People aren't going to remember the product the next day. They're going to remember how funny that commercial was, and then people are going to talk about, what was that commercial again?
Right.
For? Right. It was Budweiser. It was that. Exactly. Right. No one cares about the product. It's all about Nelson Mandela. Thank you.
Why would you tell him, and Sopranos guy, no, why would you tell him the fun was letting him stew and his retarded?
Which is terrible, because Nelson Mandela is a much bigger loss than Paul Walker. No offense to Paul Walker.
Or Morgan Freeman. You remember Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Freeman! Of course I remember Morgan Freeman. And clearly I like movies more than I like history. But, I'm terrible.
My God.
I'm a terrible person.
The state of our society.
But, who's the Sopranos guy, too? Giamatti.
No, Giamatti.
Yeah, but it's a similar kind of name to that. What's the name of the Sopranos guy? Ghost, or I'm guessing he's asking. James Gandolfini, right? Gandolfini. I got that one. Yeah. All right. But anyway.
Oh, this show is awful tonight.
No, it's not. We're having fun. We only got 4 people in here dedicated to watching us.
You know what's sad is I know 3 of them.
Oh. Well, then who cares?
That's what I'm saying. This show is dead tonight.
Well, hopefully when we put it on YouTube, we get some views.
Oh, this is entertaining.
But let's go back to the show. Man. All right, so where were we? We're leaving off on TVs and
we're talking about Steam Box.
We're talking about Steam Box. Yeah. So I'm never going to get one, and I don't think it's going to change the industry.
No, I think if the prices go down, like so, for instance, the reason I brought that up is because it's actually not that powerful. It's basically a little less powerful than like the laptop I was referring to when you said $500 for a laptop. Yeah. The benefit of it is it's only meant to run Steam, so it can run that without having to worry about the stuff in the background. I can carry it with me, and if that thing was like $300, maybe $400, I'd probably get it.
Yeah.
Just for the convenience of saying, I have this box, I can, take it and go wherever I need to. It's perfect for it. I can bring it over here and play the games right on your TV.
Yeah, I think some people kind of are putting a lot of lot of faith behind Valve in general, like thinking like, oh, they're going to change the world, like they're going to change gaming.
The whole thing was like
Steam has done that a little bit. Steam totally brought back PC gaming in a big way. 100%. It wouldn't be what it is right now if it wasn't for Steam, but
I think people
don't think
like
Steam Box is going to.
I just think people like his asshole demeanor, and I like it as well. You know,
I do too, yeah.
But it's just one of those things where I don't think. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it's going to revolutionize as much as people are expecting.
Speaking of assholes, we have to talk about it, right?
There's only 3, huh?
Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
absolutely amazing.
I don't
think out of the 3 people in here, I don't think any of these 3 people have watched the CES.
Yeah, go watch it. The Samsung Michael Bay.
I don't even know if you know who Michael Bay is half the time. Michael Bay is the guy, the D-bag behind, the Transformers movies, Bad Boys.
You don't want to just call him a D-bag.
I can't stand him.
Or even an asshole.
I can't stand him. You can say whatever you want, but I can't stand him.
Well, let's explain what happened.
I think he's pretentious. I think he's... Alright, I'm not even going into it.
He usually does high-octane, a lot of explosion action films. I can't carry my full tower around all the time. Sorry. I was just reading that off. But anyway, he came on stage for Samsung to talk about their new curved Ultra HD television. He comes out, he starts going off about how his job is to dream, which is a stolen quote from Steven Spielberg. And then he just starts to, you can see something's off. Like he's like looking, he's still going, talking about his imagination and whatnot. And then he just like turns around and it's like, okay, the teleprompter's off. I guess I'm gonna wing this.
Right, and he looks to see for help or something like that, I guess, and then he's just like, and the guys, whoever else is out there with him, I think it's the head of Samsung.
Sure.
Yeah, he was saying, so what do you, your movies, where do you get the inspiration? He's like, I just drive a lot of ideas from,
You lost it.
Something's wrong with the screen down here, so I'm just gonna wing it. Okay, well, I mean, come on, dude, just wing it.
Yeah.
And this is where I don't like him, and this is where you're giving him more credit than he deserves.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's not an actor; he's a director.
It matters not at all.
And it's Samsung's job to make sure the teleprompter works.
You're right, and you're 100% right. And he is actually 100%, okay with actually walking off stage.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, he's such an asshole that he couldn't. He is all right.
I agree that he should have tried to just make
look at me and you. Look at me and you right now.
Yeah.
This is not hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
make the best of it.
Right. We make the best of it. We just run with it. We talk. I have nothing in front of me knowing what to talk about. We're just going off of what we know we want to say and ideas. He could have just said, listen, this is where I get the ideas for my movies from. I'm in here with Samsung showing off their TVs because one thing I push on all my movies is great quality resolution, making everything look as cool and as interesting as possible, and Samsung TVs are going to bring out the best of it. Bam! I just saved your ass right there.
Here's what I would have done.
Even if he was so bad, they had to walk off stage and cry, baby.
If he was so flustered that he couldn't even wing it, here's what he should have done. For once, be a little self-deprecating. He should have just walked off, made a joke, but then came right back on like, I'm Michael Bay.
Right. No.
Let's try this over again.
Right.
Now the teleprompter's okay. I'll start over. Give him a second to refresh.
But the funny thing about this is Samsung has been trying to take over everything, and this is just a big, giant black mark for them.
Yeah.
Overall across the board. You've hired this ass of a guy to represent you that can't even stay with you the whole time. Dude, no, it's not even. No, it wasn't that he was. They hired Michael Bay to host or whatever. That's fine, whatever. I don't care. I don't like the guy very much, but I'm sure he'll do fine. But apparently I was wrong, and
can't do that,
he's just a big giant ass and just walks off stage instead of saying, guys, listen, the teleprompter's broke. I'm sure he can be more than happy to tell you about his new.
He doesn't throw him a bone. He says so what do you think of the curved TV?
Right. He's giving him something to talk about, and he's just like, I'm sorry, and then he just walks off. He doesn't even say, I'm sorry, I can't do this. We'll try again. He just literally says, I'm sorry, and turns around and walks away.
One thing I can say, though, is that he immediately went on his blog, I don't know if you saw this, and he did write a post about it.
Okay, what did he say?
And he just said, wow, I just really embarrassed myself on stage. And then he goes into what happened to him, like what went through his head, and what happened exactly with the teleprompter. But pretty much he said, like, this was an embarrassing moment for me. This is one of my down moments, but I'm doing this awesome thing with Samsung, that it's for this Ultra HD, and they're going to travel with me for Transformers and whatnot. Look forward to that. So he kind of did his little spiel on the blog instead.
But how is it so hard that you couldn't just said this? right then and there, right when you're on stage. The guy is trying to talk to you about it. Right? I don't know. We're going too far.
Yeah, people are trying to get us back on gaming. Machiavelli's asking, what are you guys, COD or BF? I've only played COD, but I'm not a big first-person shooter guy. I play Killzone just because it's a PlayStation exclusive, and I like playing exclusive titles. But I enjoyed the first Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4. I've never played Battlefield, so I don't want to comment on that. Go ahead. You can say what you prefer.
I mean, I love Battlefield way more for certain reasons. They both have their own sets, but personally, if I had to choose to play one or the other from now to the end of the time, I'd probably go with Battlefield. It would be awful to play just one game.
Or the version that's out right now.
Well, yeah, it sucks. Oh my god, all those errors, man.
Speaking of that, yes. Remember how, like, when we were doing our biggest disappointments, and we were a little iffy on that? Like, man, have you looked at a lot of the sites doing their big disappointments of the year? It's on every list.
It's on every single one.
Have you checked the log of things they're trying to fix on the Battlefield?
No, I actually haven't looked. I know that there was a quick list that said, right towards the beginning saying, hey guys, just so you know, this is the main issues of what we're focusing on.
It's unbelievable how long it is.
Oh my god.
And how many of those things are not even being worked on yet. A lot of them are investigating, which means that it's people that have reported the issue, but they haven't even gotten around to investigating it yet. It's brutal. One of the worst ones that I saw is that it's a glitch that makes one bullet hit count as 2.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's
and actually, I had
death stroke for a first-person shooter multiplayer.
Yeah, that's basically and I've experienced that myself. And I would do it all the time. And it's actually
that's brutal.
It's ridiculous, man. You'll go out there, you get shot, you literally feel like you got shot once, and you die. And you're like, what the hell am I being shot by?
And that's that typical thing that people say when they're the people that aren't good at first-person shooter. It's like, oh my god, something's wrong here. They must have special guns or something. Their bullet hit me once and I die. People complain about this, but the worst part is it's actually true this time. You're right. That shouldn't have killed you. It was one bullet, but it's a glitch.
So it's just one of those. It's overall, it's just kind of almost like a failure.
And the worst part of it all is this would have been their year to take ahead, because Call of Duty really wasn't that strong this year, and I think a lot of people aren't buying Call of Duty. Battlefield could have taken ahead
easily. I mean, you got to remember too, there is an entire group of people dedicated to Battlefield, and there's people that really just don't like it. And I mean, Battlefield is almost like a unique taste. It's not a Call of Duty is almost a remnant and a successor to Counter-Strike, where it's just fast-paced, run, gun. The strategy that you can evolve into it, but it's really just you spawn, you shoot, and you die. But Battlefield, I mean, there are times where I went into a match that lasted an hour or so, and I didn't die more than 3 times. And that doesn't.
It's that type of first-person shooter.
Right. It's a long, drawn-out process. It's like a wartime thing.
Anyway, we don't want to go too long, so let's finish off with the last bit of news from Sony. Their TV service of sorts, like a IP TV maybe, of some kind.
So in their PlayStation Now announcement, they actually mentioned this as well, where you'll be able to get not only the game access, but their TV service. So we
don't know too much about it.
What it is. We actually talked about this week.
There might be something released, but I haven't gotten around to viewing it. But could this mean that they're going to have a whole bunch of applications for different television channels? Are we talking PlayStation Productions, where it is exclusive content that PlayStation produces, such as The Tester, or maybe a TV show for God of War? Or
it could be like how Microsoft is doing with the Steven Spielberg Halo issue, where they're doing something like that. I think we were talking about it. I think if Sony is doing it the right way, it's going to be their version of Netflix Instant and Amazon Prime,
or Hulu Plus,
or Hulu Plus, where they're going to be creating their own original content. I mean, they have the production studio.
I think that they should just go
cables go
all in with like an IPTV of sorts. You remember, their video store, for instance, they have the video area where you can look at every station, right, and then it's all the content for that station. But imagine if they just got NBC to support them, CBS, Fox, AMC, HBO, and they had a whole list of all these stations, and what they essentially were the applications for each of these channels. It's just HBO Go, but it's been formatted to work within PlayStation, where you just click on HBO, and if you have a subscription to HBO, you would have had your login before, it remembers it, and it just goes straight into all the different stuff you can watch on HBO.
Exactly.
You click your thing, you watch it.
You're done.
like IPTV is the future of television, I think.
Right, and they even have, I mean, LG announced WebOS TVs.
Yeah.
You know, so I would look at that if you haven't had a chance to, you know, do that. But yeah, it's really where it's going. So cable TV has been dying for the past few years. And this is really, and I've been talking to a lot of people about this over the past, you know, 3-4 years. This is really where it's going, and we are starting to now see it take head. So I'm actually really excited for this. Whatever it could be, you know, whatever it is, I think honestly it's going to be a revolutionizing step as far as integration with PlayStation now. As long as it's what is in our minds, they're smart enough to do that.
I think the last bit of this that I kind of talked to you about is that Dish Network not too long ago announced that they're releasing their official application from Dish Network that allows you to watch anything. As long as you have a Dish Network login. Whatever your plan is on Dish Network, you now have access to all that content immediately, like on demand, streamed to your television. Now, what I've read, I told you this earlier, is that there is supposedly a mandate that all cable providers,
I hadn't heard about this,
Dish providers, whatnot, must have an application for streaming by June or July or something like that. If that's the case, we're going to see, like what you have on your iPad, a lot of people, they have like a Comcast app, you know, where you can watch a lot of your on-demand content on your iPad. They're going to be having that supposedly for TVs and whatnot. Now, if that happens, and say for instance PlayStation just gets together with all these different providers and whatnots and said, okay, we're going to create a service that you do a little coding here, provide us with what you want, and it'll be in here.
Been trying to do this for years.
But the thing is, how does this affect Microsoft?
Well, I think you're a little more worried about it than I am.
Well, it completely goes against their entire infrastructure, what they've been trying to push since 2 years ago now. With
Ghost Games actually brought out the feature. You know, one of the reasons why I don't think it's too big of a deal is that it doesn't actually work as well as they were actually hoping it would.
Not yet.
It's actually not even just not yet, but not almost at all. And it's it was a cool thing, and honestly I think and we all said it, they focused way too much of it on that particular feature at the reveal and on their console, because the switching over to different panels is really what it's all about. You know, not just for switching over to cable TV. And I think now this is really where it's going to kind of almost be a nail in the, you guys were looking at wrong.
Yeah, I think live TV is on its way out. People don't want to watch live anymore. They want to DVR it and watch it on their own time. They want to binge watch. Binge watch is just becoming huge now. Everyone wants to go on Netflix and watch a full season of House of Cards.
You want me to do, what's it called? Yeah, I watched
New Girl.
House of Cards. New Girl I watched in, like 4 days?
Yeah, because it's a sitcom. You watch a 20-minute episode, you can watch like 3 or 4
House of Cards, dude, if you haven't watched House of Cards yet, watch it.
Orange is the New Black is another good one.
Orange is the New Black is good, but House of Cards is really the most,
that's better.
Amazing thing. I watched it, I think, all in a day and a half.
Which the second season is being advertised now.
Alpha House is actually pretty good too.
Oh, I didn't watch that one.
Amazon Prime.
I've heard of that. Okay.
Watch it. Anyway.
Okay, I think that's where we want to stop with this. That's pretty much everything out of CES today, along with some other stuff sprinkled in, some random crap that we talked about.
We're going to go over a little bit more this weekend as well. We'll probably have to go into... We're going to actually be making this our topic of the week, is all the new stuff. We're not going to actually have a specific...
There was so much, and it's only Tuesday.
We didn't get to cover everything that happened just in the past couple of days. This was just the big topic.
And we only had like maybe 10 people in here throughout the night. Filtering in and out, we maybe had 10 people.
It was awful.
So we'll just go back over that stuff again this weekend. But to the people that did join us, thank you. We're going to be putting this up on YouTube and whatnot, just for the people that do want to see it. A lot of people probably don't even know we're on right now.
No.
And we don't have Kristen. I think this proves that we need a girl presence.
We do need a girl.
We need a girl presence. No one wants to see 2 guys talking. It's just, that's the way it is. So,
the show had it right.
Just for the couple people in here right now, I think it's people that already know, but we're on Twitter at The Level Up Show. That's level spelled LVL. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/The Level Up Show. That's spelled exactly how it sounds. You can look at our blog spot for reviews and usually editorials. We're not going to do a whole bunch of news articles. We don't have the time for that. But every now and then we'll do editorials. And that's thelevelupshow.blogspot.com. And then we also have our official YouTube, which is just search for The Level Up Show on YouTube and you should find it. We have a few audio videos on there, which is just strictly audio with a logo behind it. And we have last week's episode, which is actually video. And we're going to put up this short little impromptu broadcast on YouTube as well. So thanks to the couple people that are in here right now for joining us. We're The Level Up Show, and hopefully we see you Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Have a good night, guys.
See ya.